full-featured video editing for Windows and Macs. The latest from CyberLink. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from CyberLink is Creative Director David Morgan. Good to see you, David.
Good to see you, Fred. Thanks for having me.
Well, you've got a pretty new version out there that has new features for, I guess, Windows and Mac users. I'll let you give us the overall view first.
Yeah, so for anybody that's not familiar with CyberLink, we've been around since 1996. We're a world leader in multimedia software and also AI facial recognition. AI has been a big focus for us. We actually have been adding a lot of AI tools into our video editing and photo editing softwares. We have basically 200 patents on technologies, over 400 million software apps shipped worldwide, and we've had like thousands of awards for our software throughout the years. I mean, we've been around for so long. We're not new to this game. So yeah, that's basically who CyberLink is. Today, I'm basically going to be talking about just our creative software. What that is basically video editing, photo editing, audio editing, and color correction. So that's essentially what we'll be talking about. And all of these softwares essentially get updated every 3 months, but every year we usually have a very big update. Unlike a lot of creative softwares, we haven't completely moved over to just subscription. So every September we do release a perpetual version, which is kind of getting unique in this area where, you know, like Adobe has completely stopped that, but we found that our users still like the perpetual version. So we do allow people to buy the full version all at once every year. Come September, we have all the new releases, but throughout the year, we do updates every 3 months on our subscription version, which is basically what gets all jam-packed into the September release. So back in September, we did our big release for a perpetual version. And if you have our subscription in December, we did another release of new features and new things. So that's one advantage of getting our subscription is that you will be getting updates every 3 months. And we actually release things every month as well. So that's kind of a little run through of our company, and our main editor is Power Director, which is for video editing. That's probably what we're most famous for at this point.
Let's talk about Power Director. Maybe you can show us some as well for those who are watching this as opposed to just listening to the interview. So tell us about what's new, what some of the newest features are that you've been able to give your users.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's okay. One of the first big things that we did this last year was we actually teamed up with iStock from Getty Images. We'd already had a deal going with Shutterstock. So now we have both Shutterstock and iStock available in the Power Director, which is accessible right here. What this is over 8 million stock assets. We have videos, photos, and music from both Shutterstock and iStock, as you can see. And you basically can just search in and say, I wanted to find something for the beach, like I'm working on a project and I need beach footage. And basically you'll have hundreds of pages of video content that you can just pull directly in and use in your videos. This is royalty free. So you can basically use it on YouTube, on the web, anything like that. The only restrictions is like you can't use it for like feature films or TV shows. Obviously that's different licensing. So anything that a company or a typical user would need it for, they can get it all right here. So this is going to be, so you can post anything from this on, for example, YouTube, and not have to worry about copyright infringements or anything like that.
And is that included in the pricing?
Yeah, so most of the content, all this 8 million that I'm talking about, yes. In September, we moved it up to 8 million videos, images, and music. But what we added in December is we worked with iStock, and they've actually added 70 million more videos and images that you can purchase as well. So like if this has right here, and what we've done is we've negotiated a cheaper price. So if, for example, you type in beach and you aren't happy with, you know, the millions of options you have, or thousands probably, you actually have additional options that you can choose from that does cost a little money. So for these came in December, and obviously everything is marked. So like you can see which one is, you can preview it. I'm not sure if you see this through my screen or not, but you can preview the thing on a web browser. You can add it to your cart, and then you can purchase it and use it directly in the software. And that's basically what you do, and you purchase it, and it's, I believe it is, let's see, yeah, it's $6.99 per stock, and I believe most of these are being sold for about $60 on the iStock website. So it's a pretty big discount that we've negotiated for our users. And this all comes with the Power Director or Director Suite subscription. So
Terrific. And
that's,
when it comes to some of the other new features that you have to, I guess,
yeah.
make
So,
life easier for your users, what's
yeah.
this?
So one of my new favorites is our AI sky replacement. Let me just go ahead and open that up. It's actually done through a plugin. So we can actually, you know what? I'll pull it in here. So hard drive. Just a second. Let me see if I have do it. Here you go. Use this. You know what? I think I have a file that would be easier to open. I got some footage already. Yeah, here we go. So I'm just going to open up a file that has a bunch of good examples instead of trying to pull each and everyone in. So for sky replacement, this is AI based. And what it does is it does exactly what it sounds like. It's going to replace your sky in just a couple clicks. I can show you real quick. Just a few examples and I'll show you how it works. So this is just some examples so you can see the different movements that it can fix. So this is like a tracking shot where you can see the sky be replaced. This is one with people running in it, so you can see what happens when people are in front of the sky. And this is just a panning shot, so you can see that it works on all of them. So let's show you how it works. So sky replacements. Grab media room. So we'll just grab, I don't think you saw this one. So you just pull it in and then you just pick a sky that you want. And it's just going to replace it. And then you obviously have different settings. So like it's not perfect. It is still, you know, learning as it is AI. But you have these different settings to basically, so you can make that land ambient fit more, right? So it looks a little bit cleaner. You can position it differently. You can scale it differently. And then you can just kind of click through and see how it looks. Unfortunately, you can't preview it, obviously, because it needs to render first. And that would just be a lot of power that doesn't need to get used until you're about to transfer it out. So that's the one thing that it is lacking a little bit is we can't preview it specifically by playing it. You will have to just click through to see how it's being done throughout the whole video. But you can just hit transfer right here, transform right here, and it's going to go ahead and create the video for you. And it takes about a minute or two, just depending on the size of your clip. So that's the AI sky replacement. The other thing, then two other AI tools. That we added in are audio tools. So we did add a few audio tools. So as you can hear, there's a lot of construction behind this guy. This is pretty much, if you work in film, you know that this would almost be unusable in the past. But we have added some enhancements. So we have noise reduction right here. So what this is going to do is just go in and basically remove the sound. So this is now our new speech enhancement. So this is basically an AI tool opposed to like a typical remover.
With the new AI tools, David, what kind of computers will this work best on? I assume they need a pretty powerful machine.
Well, we work really closely with Intel and other companies to make sure we are basically doing the best GPU optimizations and things like that. But yeah, obviously, the nicer the computer, the quicker and faster it will run. I haven't really had any problems running it on any laptop that I've used. Obviously, if you have an older laptop, it is going to take longer. That's more the issue. So yeah, I mean, it needs a decent machine, but I wouldn't say it needs like a high quality machine. As long as you can run most softwares on your machine, you should be good. Obviously, if you have something 10 years old, it's going to possibly crash your computer, just as most things will at this point.
Sure. Now, tell us, with the licensing, is it one PC that you can use this on, or how
You
does it
get
work?
two. You get two. And I do want to say the Mac and the Windows versions are different. So the Mac is a bit cheaper because it's not quite as robust because we just released it last year and we're getting all the features in there. In about a year, I'll be about caught up. But we are just lacking some features in there. For example, the AI sky replacement isn't in the Mac version, but it will be coming.
And well, this is a Power Director, so
Yes.
you also have a suite that's available
Yes.
for users too. So tell us about that.
Yeah, our Director Suite is a collection of editing tools. And basically what it is we have Audio Director, Color Director, Photo Director, and Power Director. Obviously, those are pretty obvious, right? Audio Director is for anything audio. You can record music in it. You can record podcasts. We made sure that like it has all the tools for that, like the punch and roll and basically all kinds of little tools in there that would be ideal for podcasting. And then with Color Director, it's a little bit more than just color correction. One thing we notice is like people, more consumer side people don't really understand all like, what's the point of color correction, color grading. So what we did is we added like sparkle effect, glitch effect, bokeh effect, grain effects. You can add light rays, light leaks, and like lens flares all within Color Director. So this is basically Photo Director. So here's our library. So we have like facial recognition, tagging, smart collections, all of that, everything you'd want for sorting. And then you have your adjustments tabs. And what this is basically all your color correction, color grading, right? And we also have some AI tools like auto color enhancement, which is just going to make your photo look as good as possible. And then you also have your presets. So these are just like filters. And then you can use color LUTs if you're into LUTs and things like that. So it's a good mix of like beginner tools and professional tools. Our guided editing, this is some of my favorite stuff. And what this is this is really for beginners. Professionals can use it, but we have it within our advanced layer editing as well. But this guided area is really just for people who want to come in and do really quick edits. So like we have things like AI style transfer, sky replacement. So we can see the sky replacement. And it's just like one click, super easy, anybody can do it.
So terrific. It sounds like you've included plenty for beginners and for more experienced users. But tell us what the learning curve is like for people who buy this.
Yeah, so we found that the learning curve is, pretty small when you look at like the basic stuff. So when you're looking at like, I'll pull up Power Director real quick again, if that's okay. Just so I can give you a little view. So with like Power Director, a lot of these tools you'll find when you click on stuff, we do express. So this is going to limit it to like just the key things, and then we do advanced. And so a lot of our tools are made this way. So that way, if you're new, you're not going to be overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, and everything's going to be pretty straightforward. But when you get advanced, you're going to want a lot more control. You want to get into the details. So all of our stuff is essentially done that way, where we like to create just on the surface, it's like very basic tools, and anybody can sit down and use it. For example, like our guide, anybody can just sit down and do one click and boom, you're done. You got a really cool effect. But then, advanced users want to go further. They want to tweak, they want to have full control, and we give them those full controls below that or behind that.
Terrific. If someone were to ask you, what is it that really differentiates what CyberLink is doing from the competition out there? Why should I buy CyberLink? What's the reply?
So I used to teach. I went to film school, and I got to say, probably my favorite thing about our software, one of the reasons I joined this company, is they really kind of keep like the beginner and like this idea of growth in mind. So right, you have like your beginning software where you can't really grow. Like you learn the basics, and then that software is kind of like, okay, now it's time to move on. So for example, if I use iMovies, you're eventually gonna have to go to like Final Cut, right? And it's kind of like there's no like, it's just like iMovie or Final Cut. There's no good in between even. I think what we do really well is for beginners, you can come in our software, you have no idea what you're doing, and you can do stuff right away. You can get really amazing results, and just a few clicks, you're gonna feel like, oh yeah, you're gonna be encouraged. That's one thing I found when I taught is like students would just get beat down by trying to go into After Effects or these more advanced things and try to get any kind of results, and they just get discouraged and just want to give up. Whereas with our software, we really like put like really powerful, awesome results right in the front, and then you can kind of learn from that. And so there's this really amazing path that I found when I've introduced people, like for my parents, for example. I've always tried to get them into these things, and it's never worked. But when I introduced them to CyberLink, the software like Photo Director, they love it because they can go in and do all these really cool things, and they share it with friends and family, and everyone's like, oh, wow, it's amazing. And it took them just a few clicks. Whereas like trying to explain Photoshop to them was like just over their head. And then more basic stuff, they just weren't able to get the results they wanted.
Tell us about pricing, how it works.
So for our pricing, if you're going to do the Director Suite, our original price, like just the 12-month, it's going to be $130. We do run discounts all the time. If you go to like cyberlink.com, we obviously have sales and things like that quite often for like holidays and things like that. But our monthly price for the full Director Suite, all 4 programs, it's going to be $1083. So that's going to be video editing within Power Director. We also have video streaming and screen recording. Then you're going to have, the audio, color correction, and photo editing. If you're looking for just video editing, it's going to be $583 a month or $70 for a full year. For the photo editor 365, it's $458 a month, and it's 55 basically, I think, for a full year.
Terrific. And for more information, the place to go, I assume, is cyberlink.com.
Yes, exactly.
Terrific. CYBER link.com. David Morgan, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fred. Appreciate it.